how do we lose the company that gave us the Superbird, as well as cars like the Barracuda? Let me tell you the rise and sad, slow death of Plymouth. In 1928, Chrysler forms a sub-brand of more affordable cars. That sub-brand was Plymouth, and it's actually what carried them through the Great Depression. By 1939, they're selling nearly 500,000 of these things. In the 50s, they introduced their forward look as well as their first V8. They were selling over 700,000 of these things annually, but after a while, they started going with cheaper materials and started cheaping out on labor. And Plymouth got a bad rep for build quality. In the 60s, they made all their full-size cars smaller, which did not go over very well for sales. But in the 70s, they're like, hey, screw it, let's make these huge, wide, awesome American muscle cars, which are these beautiful cars that we all know and love today. And in the 70s, they're selling nearly 1 million of these cars annually. But like a lot of brands, the 80s were not kind to Plymouth. In fact, by the 90s, Plymouth was just a copy and paste of Dodge. The Prowler was sort of their last attempt at some form of uniqueness. But in the late 90s, Daimler Chrysler was trimming the fat, and the last Plymouth was built in 2001.